Motion carries. We have no old business. Are there any committee or organization reports? Mrs. Shaw.
The Garden State Coalition of Schools met yesterday, March 16th, here in East Brunswick. Some of the topics of discussion were the fact that Garden State will be giving testimony to the Senate next week on state school aid and budget sustainability. We had also received an update on early childhood initiatives, and it was indicated to us that the movement toward this is unlikely for approximately 22 months, which is when we are likely to have a new direction in Trenton. There was much discussion of the Department of Education regarding a meeting concerning the park administration. There's been much controversy regarding field testing of questions that may possibly be used in the future. For those schools who are participating in the field test, it is actually requiring an additional 110 extra minutes of testing, which is an extra day. As you can well imagine, those that are participating in the field test, which East Brunswick is not, they are not particularly pleased with this situation. We also wanted to announce that our annual meeting will be taking place on May 25th at Forsgate Country Club, and that all member districts are invited, as well as all members of the Board of Education. In terms of school aid, I wanted to bring it to your attention again that we have been hearing in the news that there was a fairly significant increase in school aid. However, school aid now includes money for our pension fund, which in the past was considered to be a separate line item. It was noted by the membership at Garden State that special education extraordinary aid has actually decreased over the last 5 years. The final discussion was regarding should park scores be used on students' transcripts. The DOE is indicating that many colleges and universities are in fact interested in this information. However, we really have not been able to see any true evidence of this. County colleges may be interested in using this information to replace the AccuPlacer exam, which was developed in the 1970s. They have indicated that passing the park exam may actually keep students out of remedial courses. And that is my report from Garden State.
Any other committee or organization reports? Mr. Philipse.
Finance Committee met. Facilities, the same presentations that were given to the board today. Facility management, the public pupil transportation, short and long-term debt was presented to the board on March the 10th. I would like to thank board members, Mr. Simmons, Mr. Cohen, Mrs. Becker, for their participation and their attendance.
Okay. Any other committee or organization reports? Good to the cause. We've already hit you, but I'm going to hit you for, again, another congratulations and anything else going on at the high school, Mr. Cherry, that we need to know about.
All right, so first and foremost, I'd just like to just give a big thank you for all your kind words. I've been sitting here all day, like all night. I've just been looking into space because it's a surreal experience knowing where I'm going to college and knowing that I'll be close enough to still be an active member of this community and still come back and help out when I'm needed. I'd just like to thank Dr. Vanilla for always being just a great principal and just a great mentor in everything. Over the past couple years, even when at times I've doubted myself, Dr. Manila's never doubted me for a second. He's always been pushing for me to do the best I could possibly do, and finally it's all coming to fruition. I'd just like to thank just you guys. You've always been there. Every time I came to meetings, you've always told me how great I am or how much I'm going to achieve, and I'm just like, oh, you guys flatter me. And sometimes you don't realize what you can achieve, and other people see it in you, but you don't see it in yourself. And I just thank you guys for just allowing me to, even though I don't think this is all I'm going to achieve in life, but getting on the path to start it. I'd like to talk about FBLA. So I was appointed FBLA president at the end of my junior year, and sort of at the beginning of my senior year. And going in we hadn't really won anything over the past couple of years. We hadn't done anything remarkable. We've just been a club, another face on the wall. And this year we've had an outstanding performance. We had our state competition in Atlantic City, and we brought back so many awards. Won first in global business, first in public speaking one, first in electronic business. I won second in public speaking two, won third in graphic design, and we have so many students going into the national competition in Atlanta. And it just goes to show how hard work and dedication pay off. We were under new advisors for like 2 years ago. We got new advisors, Mrs. Kenny and Mrs. LeBlanc, and they've worked tirelessly to get our club back on its feet. And over this short span of time, we've started becoming a club that actually competes on a high level in our school. We went to the state competition and people were like, East Brunswick High School? We haven't really heard about them in the past 5 years, and now they're taking every single award first, and just really, we really had a good, we showed up. We actually showed up to the competition. We did a good job. And we recently had our Consumer Bowl competition. Every year, the New Jersey Consumer Affairs Division hosts a sort of quiz bowl competition at different schools. This year was hosted at our school, and I was lucky to be on the competing team, and we won for the first time in 5 years. So we're competing at regionals at Monmouth University on April 22nd, and if we win that, we go to states at the Capitol in Trenton, and if we win there, we get to meet the Attorney General and the Governor. So hopefully we do that. And last, yeah.
That surprise.
The final thing is Euro Challenge. So Euro Challenge is a competition run with the Federal Reserve, and it's for sophomores and freshmen. So usually we're not really prepared for this competition. We don't do that well. We don't think we're going to even do anything. We're like, oh, we just do it for fun. And this year we had an amazing group of sophomores, Sanket Jain, Shari Chowdhury, Elodie, and just like Zane Bowker. They did an extremely great job, and they were 1 out of 2 teams in New Jersey to qualify for nationals. And this is an extremely prestigious competition. If I was a sophomore, I'd be doing this in a heartbeat. This is how you get internships. This is how you get your name recognized. They're being looked at by several like top-notch companies around the globe. Credit Suisse, like it's really crazy. It's a high-level recognition. And when I found out they were going to nationals, I was just in disbelief, because this is like the highest you can get. Once you go to nationals, once you win at nationals, you're talking about college scholarships, you're talking about an insane amount of money offered by the Federal Reserve, because they really want to foster learning at such a young age. What am I talking about next? Okay, Dr. Vanilla ran a Follow a Student for a Day program this past month, and it was extremely successful. He wanted to see how walking the day in the life of a student would be like, and I think he got to see how just everything about our school day, sitting through classes, talking to your friends at lunch, and just seeing everything through a student's perspective, and I think it yielded great results. He just wanted to see what an East Brunswick student like experiences on a daily basis. And that's pretty much it for today. Or tonight. Yeah.
You top them every week. You know, we still have you for another 3 months, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was going to say, I don't know how Dr. Vanilla is going to find someone suitable to take your seat. It's just great to listen to you tell us what's going on in the high school. It's sort of like watching the video, because we don't really get to hear much.
You want me to retain him?
Well, I don't think he can yet, but he's good.
You mean like not graduate?
Yeah, we just keep him for the.
No.
Oh, we could do that.
I'll defer NYU for a year.
No, you won't. We won't let you do. But I'm glad to hear that you're back. You put us back on the map in some of these competitions, so that's great.
Thank you.
Okay, well, congratulations on that. Anyone else? You're not going to be able to top him. Mrs. Lax, give it a try.
I kind of don't like that I have to speak after him, because you're amazing, and I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So future children like him, I was actually at Hammersholt today, Melissa Dugan's, was at House 3, the famous Folks Festival. It was really neat. It was, the students, actually, it's funny, the mix of technology and old school, because of course, you know, Bernie, how I love my paper. They had the kids with the trifolds. Mrs. Gulick, I saw you there today. And it was a terrific thing, and they recognized their people, they talked about it, you can ask them questions, and then of course half the students had everything on a Chromebook. And I went there and everything was done electronically. And it was a really wide variety of people. There was an internet star. I felt very old because there was a YouTube sensation who I had no idea who that was. And then there was Gandhi, and there was Einstein, and there were a lot of sports people who I knew. Adam Sandler, my personal favorite, I have to say. And then what was really interesting, and I don't know if anyone else saw this, but Brian Selznick, who is a 1984 graduate of East Brunswick High School, one of the students actually is a huge fan. He went to Warnsdorfer like she did. And she did her famous folks was on him. So it's kind of a neat thing amongst all these famous people throughout the world. And here was someone that actually attended our high school not that long ago. So pretty neat.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Mr. Flipsack.
I had the privilege of attending the EBEF trustee meeting yesterday, and you did a wonderful job in explaining the annual Partner in Excellence Award Dinner on April 12th. I hope everybody does go out and support it. I also want to let you know that there is a raffle that you could able to donate online. It's ebeducationfoundation.wordpress.com in case you want to make a donation to the foundation directly.
All right. Anyone else? Seeing that, we do have a need for closed session, so may I have the following motion? Whereas the board must discuss matters which are not appropriate for discussion in public meeting, and whereas these subjects are within the exception to the Open Public Meetings Act and are permitted to be discussed in closed session, and whereas the board intends to discuss matters as follows. Any collective bargaining agreement or the terms and conditions which are proposed for inclusion in such, including the negotiation of terms and conditions thereof with employees or representatives of employees of the public body. The collective bargaining contracts discussed are between the board and EBPSA, EBEA. Any tactics and techniques utilized in protecting the safety and property of the public, provided that their disclosure could impair such protection. Any investigations of violations of possible violations of the law. The nature of the matter described as specifically impossible without undermining the need for confidentiality is school security. Pursuant to NJSA, any matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation of the performance of, promotion, discipline of any specific or prospective officer or employee or current public officer or employee appointed by the public body, unless all individual employees or appointees whose rights could be adversely affected, request in writing that such matter be discussed at a public meeting. The nature of that matter is employee number 23609 and board member vacancy. Whereas the length of closed session is estimated to be 90 minutes, after which we may reconvene and then immediately adjourn. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Education will recess into closed session for the aforesaid subjects, and we will make this available when the time for public interest then exists.
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Becker, second by Mrs. Shaw. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good night, everyone.